So Mad Max is the new game from Warner Brothers Studios, and we're going to share our thoughts with you.
So this is set in the same place as the Mad Max films, and is made by Warner Brothers, who have incorporated some stuff from the Arkham games, and it's also quite similar to Shadow of Mordor.
So one of the best parts about this game and in the film was the car combat. The car combat's done really, really well in this. You can tell the different factions and the different cars come from different factions, and it's really cool to see. It really gets you into the universe.
So in this game there's lots and lots of side missions and stuff that you can do within the Wasteland, and I feel this is good because they've integrated it within the main missions, as if you don't do them you can't keep up, and if you do them you can even get ahead of what you need to be, which makes the main missions even easier.
So, while the side missions are pretty enjoyable to do to begin with, if you want to lower the threat level in every area, you can get bogged down with it because you are doing the same thing over and over again, and while it's good at the start, you do get really bored doing it.
So if you played the Arkham games and you know about that combat, it's really similar in Mad Max. It's pretty much spam X, press Y to counter, and that's the general stuff. However, in the Arkham games we see more variety, more special moves, more drop-down attacks and stuff. In this, it's plain just punches, maybe sometimes an elbow or a kick, but it's not really that good.
You can get a little bit bored with it. At first it seems pretty... It doesn't feel fresh. It's a lot like Shadow of Mordor and the other games, but you will get pretty bored with it because there's not a whole lot to it. So the customization of this game is pretty ridiculous. You can customise Max and the car to a ridiculous extent, but the Griffer tokens you can enter the game are like skill points. You kind of feel that they've just jammed in a load of upgrades and stuff for you just to fill your skill points with. A lot of stuff that you don't need, like durability of weapons and other things like that, they're just not necessary at all, and they feel like you're just wasting skill points putting them in. And you get so many skill points that it kind of wants you to fill up that kind of area, whereas you would rather just pretty much upgrade your health and your scrap intake and stuff like that, and it kind of feels a bit annoying.
So the world in this, similar to Mad Max Fury Road, it looks really cool. However, I feel it's slightly bare as you get to the lower of the map. The top of the map seems to look really good as it has lots of structures, worn down buildings. Looks more like there was a world there, whereas at the bottom it's just a massive sand desert, dunes everywhere, and I feel it's a bit plain. Another thing that happens is sandstorms. Obviously you see the massive one in Mad Max Fury Road, and it gives you a huge warning on the top of your screen when there's a storm coming, and I feel if they took that out, left the storms in, and you just had to react to a storm coming, it would add a bit more variety to the gameplay, and not just have you see the warning and just drive straight out of it.
So another kind of issue, but you might not see it as a problem, really, the story is pretty, it's not that memorable, to be honest. I mean, like, you'll enjoy it while you're playing through the game, watching the cutscenes and the characters and stuff. They all feel really vibrant, but you don't really remember them after you finish with the game. You will go to another game and just be like, just think more about the gameplay and the car combat rather than the story in general. And it might not be a negative point. While you're playing it, it's enjoyable enough, but I guess you don't really come for the story, really. You come for more of the car combat and the way the world looks.
So our final thoughts on Mad Max the game. The gameplay is really good, the combat is enjoyable enough, and the car combat is really good. It's really original, and I haven't seen much like it before.
I would stay for that. If you're thinking more about the story-wise, definitely I wouldn't bother with it too much, but if you're more into the gameplay, then definitely recommend picking it up.
So the price at the moment is £50 in the UK, $60 in America, and depending on what you're looking for in the game, you might not want to get it just yet. If you're really interested in the car combat, just definitely get it right now. If you're more aren't bothered about the main missions, you might want to wait a little bit. So guys, that's been our review of Mad Max the game. We're going to give it a rating of good. It's a super solid game, and I would definitely advise getting it.
If you haven't got Metal Gear Solid already and you're not interested in that, then definitely pick it up because it is a worthwhile decision. And playing the game, it's going to take you a few hours to do absolutely everything, but if you're more interested in the story, then it's going to take you a little bit shorter to complete. And you probably feel a bit underwhelmed by it, but if you're going to do absolutely everything, it's going to take you quite a lot of time.
So if you have enjoyed, please be sure to hit like, slap subscribe, and leave us a comment down below if there's anything else you want us to know. I've been Sam.
I've been John.
And we will see you in the next one.